Uh, just another terrific basketball game. Incredibly well played offensively by both teams in the second half. Obviously fun to watch, except for the last few seconds. I'm really proud of our players. I thought we gave everything we had. Defensively, we weren't very good in the second half, or as good, I should say. North Carolina kids made some plays too. They made some shots. And they're hard to guard. They got talented guys. But I just hurt for my team. I want my team to have something good happen for them. They 2 good days trying to get ready for this one and poured heart and soul into it and just, came up a play short. So, but credit North Carolina, Hubert and their guys did some nice things and fastest guy, so we just lobbed it and got it to him on the move. He had the option to go, get me. It's right on line. It's just short and leaky contested. Great. So, that's good. You get a chance to win. The ball's in the air. You got it on the rim. You got a chance. We just didn't make it.
I guess you've lost to Duke by 2 points, or UNC by 2 points. How do you feel like your guys are handling this? Just coming.
Well, I'll let you know. Tomorrow. Like, it was obviously a very somber locker room right there. Yeah, I mean it's really hard. There's a lot of it that is very emotional, right, for kids. And it's just, I always say, because it's football country, that it's just, our games come so quickly sometimes that the kids don't have a chance to get recharged. And we play so many more games. That's why there's not always a great performance, right? We don't have all week to get ready and kind of build it to the Saturday crescendo. You flip the switch and you got to go. And it's hard to pour your heart and soul into thing every single night and then, kind of get your heart pulled out of your chest because you feel like you got a great win or a chance at a great win, and then you got to do it again. But like I told our kids, man, this is ACC basketball. You're playing in a great environment. What a game. Incredible to be a part of it. What a blessing, and how fortunate you are. And hopefully we do it again, the next 2 days. We'll go again and play the dark blue. And, but it's hard because, coming close doesn't get it done. And we got to find ways to win.
Brad, how differently do you have to play with Nas starting instead of Hunter as far as the spacing and stuff?
Yeah, it's a little different. Nas a little quicker on some things. Obviously, Hunter better shooter, a little taller, helps defensively. It's a different deal, and we're trying to work through that as well. Obviously Ian played very well tonight, and you're trying to look for matchups defensively that make sense, that can help you. And Brady Manick is such a good player and has such a quick release, and I mean, he gets it off, and they run some good stuff for him. And we put David Collins on him to try to bother him, and he did a fantastic job. That puts other guys on a different matchup. But that's the kind of respect, so you're not always guarding traditional four with traditional four. You're, as coaches, we're trying to tweak all the time and figure things out. And this was a great game for Ian. I hope it gives him a ton of confidence. like a freshman, he's been up and down for us in practice, and same thing in some games. He played great in our win at Virginia. He hasn't gotten to play all the time consistently, which isn't easy. We're trying to play him in a couple different positions, a little bit of 5, a little bit of 4. But I thought he was fantastic today, and that's fun and good. And that's the benefit of Hunter being hurt. That's one of the positives we hope that comes from this for next year.
Brad, as a coach, how do you try to get them to wipe this clean and get ready for Duke here in less than 48 hours?
Yeah. I mean, that's just what you have to do. It's what this game's over, and it'll be hard tonight. And sometimes these kids get through things a little quicker sometimes than I'd even like when we don't play as well and we lose. I want them to think about it a little bit more. You shouldn't wake up the next day and just be ready to go. That should bother you. It's different than when you play pretty well and you make a lot of good plays and you pour your heart and soul into it, and then it's more difficult, right? But we'll try to flush it, and when we get together tomorrow afternoon on Duke, we'll get right to it. I'm sure we'll have guys come in during the day and watch some clips with their position coaches to try to teach, because we still got a lot of young guys. Even PJ, there's all kinds of teaching clips on here that he needs to see. And that's a big part of what we're trying to do is be teachers and get them to understand the game a little better.
How much did it hurt him picking up his second foul?
It did. He and David both getting in foul trouble is, that hurt us there for a little while. You got both of them, over there, and you're trying to manage it. And, that's part of him learning how to be a great player, because sometimes some of his fouls are the ones that are you don't need to foul in that play. Even if the guy's got you beat, he's going to score. That's all right. Let him, he got you. That time you got to go win the next battle. You can't, that one's over. Now you give it an and one, and it's your second foul, and now there's 7 minutes to go. We need to win the war. And that's part of being a young player.
Can you talk about Ian's importance and how it's grown in the last, few weeks?
Yeah. He just, we think he's a good player. He's a good athlete. He's got good hands. He can dribble. He can pass. He can shoot. But the speed of the game is still, there's times when it's hard for him. He'll miss something or not see it. But we have a lot of confidence in him and think he's going to be a good player, because he has some feel instincts that are really good and that are better than some kids. He's not afraid. I don't think he showed that tonight. We're really trying to coach him to be more aggressive. We think he's got more in him. He's really a high school center. And so, we're trying to teach him to do more things. Hey, you can shoot the ball. Your stroke is good. You make a lot of 15, 16 footers. Let's stretch that thing out and keep working on it. And so we've done a lot with that. And then hey, you put the ball on the floor, 1 or 2 bounces and make a good play. Made 1 or 2 of those tonight. But that's all the skill work before and after practice, extra work, that developing his game to the point where he feels comfortable doing it in a game. And I think he hasn't played a ton, and because we've had Hunter Tyson and PJ Hall. And so, I'm hopeful that this is one of the great benefits of the injury of Hunter, is that this kid's going to get double-figure minutes every night out now, and, it'll be good for him for next year.
I think PJ can help him as far as, hard lessons as a freshman.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the great things about our program right now is we have tremendous culture. And what I mean is our kids, are about the right things. They do the right things, and they care, and they're coachable, and it's passed down. And Amir Sims mentored, PJ as well as anybody all of last year. And I told PJ during the recruitment and during his whole freshman year, the best thing that's happening to you don't even realize it. Nobody does, except for about me, is that you're playing against an all-conference player every single day. And that guy is talking to you, teaching you, encouraging you, helping you so much that wait till next year, you're going to be ready. You're going to be more ready than you realize you are, because of all the lessons and the care and the TLC that he got from Amir. And, that's part of what's been happening in our program. It gets passed down, and then you're a freshman. Now PJ's doing the same thing with Ben and Ian. And, there's when the players that we have assigned drive your team, right? When the players drive their team, that's when you have a good program, a good culture. When the players are doing, instead of always the coach. And that's where we're at here. We've got players that are invested in driving each other. And that's why the guys that really buy into it are going to be good. Ian's going to be good.
When you are able to practice, not this week, probably too much, but when you are able to practice, Ben and Ian have to practice well, don't they?
They do.
For the whole team.
The really hard part for us right now, since Hunter's injury, is PJ's really not practicing. Sometimes 30 minutes the day before game, but he really didn't this game or last week with Georgia Tech. And then now you don't have Hunter. Like we're really limited. Like we don't have anybody up. I mean, we have PJ and we have Ian and Ben, and then Nas up there a little bit. We just have so few guys to get quality reps that it's hard right now. I was really concerned coming into the week and into the game today, even because, the last 2 days when we did try to work, it's just, and you can't work the guys too much because they got to play, and so it's completely different than what you're going to see when you play against Duke and North Carolina practice. And so that part's hard, but I thought our kids handled it.
Brad, on the that last play for North Carolina, was PJ on the bench, and what was the thought process there?
Yeah, we just felt like if they screened, like we felt like they were going to go up and ball screen with PJ's man and then just attack him and take it to him and, get to the rim. It happened a little bit early on a play or two where he kind of got beat off the dribble, or they take it right into him for a foul, or, and so we were going to switch anything and keep guys in front, and they kind of ghosted it. So it's not really a screen. And so then you just got to stay with the ball. And again, I think we were fine if one of our guys just plugged the hole and stayed instead of kind of, worried about his man too much. That was the mistake. I told the guys, hey, no layups. If they make a jump shot to beat us, they beat us with a jump shot. But we didn't get that done. So that's on me.
A couple of weeks ago, you go to Duke.
Yeah.
One of your better games, you come up just short. Can some of that carry over into Thursday night? Just the confidence the guys know that they can play.
Well, I hope so. I mean, yeah, every game's different, but yeah, I mean, we played an outstanding game at Duke, and kids played their hearts out. We had chance to had a lead with 3 minutes to go, and it'll take another great effort like that. And it's not just your effort. You got to make shots. I think we made 10 threes or something like that, and you have to make basketball plays. Like the great thing about today's game was you had kids on both teams making high-level shots down the stretch under pressure. And North Carolina's kids, give them credit. They're feeling pressure to make a tournament, and had a tough loss the other night, and their kids stepped up, made shots. Leaky made a big corner three. Caleb made a couple threes. Manic, made a couple good plays. RJ got in the lane and made a couple. Like they made plays too. Baycoat had a great game. PJ had a great game. Both teams had kids making plays under duress, and I'm sure the defense on both ends wasn't as good in the second half, but you still got to make the plays. And you give credit for both kids on both teams being able to do that. That's not always easy to do.
Brad, that stretch at the end of the first half, you guys
Struggled.
Was there anything you could point to offensively?
Well, we're a little limited because Ben was out there some, and our package isn't as big with him. And then I thought they just did a couple nice things that, we didn't give ourselves enough space. In hindsight, we could have kept Ben down a little more. Maybe we probably got him up a little bit too much, and that wasn't quite as good. Didn't end up being as good for us.
Coach, what has Hunter's headspace been like, and is he still as much of a vocal leader as he was
Yes,
before?
good question. And no, he's been fantastic. He's a home run kid. I mean, he's captain of our team for a reason. He's a guy that's, made himself a player, and, he's right there with us when we lost to Georgia Tech and we bust back in. The guy had he's got his shoulder that's just had surgery and plate put in, and, we get off the bus and there he is waiting on us. That's the kind of kid he is. He's speaking in huddles, and he's at practice, and he's trying to get treatments, and he's trying to encourage guys in the locker room. I mean, he's just a special young man. And, again, that's part of, it's like when Dante Grantham, about happened the same year or same time of year, right around the beginning of November. Dante Grantham was a big part of our Sweet 16 team and tore his ACL, and he came in and, was a great leader for the rest of the season. And I'm sure Hunter will be the same.
When you look back at that Duke game a couple weeks ago, obviously they were missing one of their best players, and now you guys are missing one of your best players.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can take from that film, or is it just kind
Yeah, there'll be some things that we see. I got to go refresh because we've played some games since then, but there'll be some positives from the game, absolutely, that, we'll use to try to emphasize to our players that, hey, this is really good and this is what we got to continue to do to have a chance next time. And there'll be one or two things, hey guys, this was not as good, and we've got to tweak this or we've got to improve this. But absolutely, there's some, both teams will use the film in a way to help teach their players.
Any more questions for Coach?
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor on
Yep.
Zoom. That last play was a well-devised, well-executed play to get a great look for Collins there. Were you surprised that they didn't guard Chase on the inbounds? And did you have a contingency if they did guard him? Were you going to still run that play?
Yeah, we had other thoughts and things that go with it. I'm obviously not going to tell you everything that,
Right.
all of our stuff, but no, again, like guys, putting a guy on the ball, not putting a guy on the ball, everybody who judges, you got a guy on the ball and we score, then it's, why do you got a guy on the ball? You don't have a guy on the ball and we don't, and it's like, as a coach, you don't win in that battle. It's like they throw it all the way down because so they did what they practiced and what they thought worked, and it worked. We didn't make the shot. So no, I wasn't surprised. I don't know if I would have had a guy on the ball or not. We kind of do different things as well. And it depends on who you're playing against and what you think is going to hurt you. So no, I wasn't surprised. And again, we didn't score. So give Hubert credit.
And real quick, Nick didn't play in the second half. Is he okay?
He's fine. Yeah. Just one of those games where I thought playing in a good space and just worked out that way.
Yep. Thanks, Coach.
We'll need him on Thursday. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it, man.